Happy Monday! Welcome back to another week of learning at home. Last week we started learning about the clock. This was a little bit of a refresher for some of us. We remember that when the big hand or the minute hand is the longest hand, when it's pointing at the 12, that means o'clock. So if that's the case, what time does this clock say? Yeah, 3 because the hour hand is on the 3, o'clock because the minute hand is on the 12. We also learned that when the minute hand goes halfway around and is pointing down to the 6, that means 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And remember, we said that the hour hand doesn't just stay on the 3. It goes between the 3 and the 4. It's not 4 o'clock yet. It's still in the hour of 3. So what time does this clock say now? Yeah, 3:30. You got it. Today, we're going to be practicing more time to the nearest half hour, okay? So remember, when that minute hand is pointing down to the 6, that means 30 minutes have passed. Another way of saying that is half past. So we can say 3:30, or we can say half past 3. We can say 3:30, or we can say half past 3. You got it. Let's get started. So, here is a clock. We measure time using clocks. There's an analog clock, which is the circle clock right here, which a lot of people have in their house on the wall. And then there's digital clocks that we might use like an alarm clock that might wake us up in the morning. Analog clocks have hands just like this clock. We said the minute hand is the longer hand, the hour hand is the shorter one. And then on a digital clock, the first number that we see is the hour. The two other numbers after the dots are the minutes. All right, let's get started. It says, circle the correct clock. Number 1, half past 2 o'clock. Half past 2 o'clock. So another way of saying half past 2 o'clock is to say 2 o'clock? No, half past 2. Oh, it's 2:30. So we need to circle the clock that shows 2:30. Let's look at each clock. Well, this is between 1 and 2. It's not 2 yet. That means this one is 1:30. So that's not right. This is between the 2 and the 3. Okay, so that means it's not 3 yet. It's still 2. And the minute hand is on the 6. That means 30. So this one looks like 2:30. And this one is our hands on the 2 and the 12. That's 2 o'clock. So we should circle this one. 2:30. All right, let's see if you can do this one by yourself. Circle the clock that shows half past 10 o'clock. If we want it to be half past 10, what time are we looking for? 10:30. Circle the clock that shows 10:30. Go ahead and do it on your own. Look at each clock and think about what time does this show. And then circle the one that shows half past 10 o'clock. Well, this one shows 12:30. This shows 11:30. You should have circled A because it's between the 10 and the 11, and it's not 11 yet. It's still 10, so that shows 10:30. Give yourself a pat on the back if you got that. And let's keep going. Circle the clock that shows 6 o'clock. This should be so easy. Six o'clock. Yeah, this one. Because I know the minute hand is on the 12, which means o'clock, and the hour hand is on the 6. Circle the clock that shows half past 8 o'clock. If it's half past 8 o'clock, what time are we looking for? 8:30. Circle the clock that shows 8:30. Go. Yeah, let's go through each one. What time does this clock say? Yep, this says 4 o'clock. Are we looking for 4 o'clock? No. What does this say? Does this say 8:30 or does it say 9:30? Well, it's between 8 and 9, and it's not on the 9 yet. I know, so that must mean this one is 8:30. Here we go. And then if this one is between 9 and 10, it's not on the 10 yet. That must mean it's 9:30. Uh-oh. Fill in the blanks. Clock blank shows half past 11. So this is clock A, and this is clock B. Let's do this first one together. Which clock basically shows half past 11? Half past 11, halfway past 11 means it's 11:30. I'm always going to write that so I can remember what time I'm looking for. We need to find which clock shows 11:30, half past 11. Well, this is between the 11 and the 12, which means it's not 12 yet. It's still 11, which means 11, and it's on the 6, which means 30. So this one looks like it shows 11:30. And this one is between the 10 and the 11, which means it's not the 11 yet. It's still 10. So this one shows 10:30. So that must mean clock A shows half past 11 or 11:30. Let's do number 2. Clock blank shows half past 2. Half past 2 means what time? 2:30. Which clock shows 2:30? This one looks like 12:30 because it's between the 12 and the 1, and it's not on the 1 yet. It's still at the 12. So that must mean this one between the 2 and the 3, it's still in the 2 o'clock hour. It's not 3 yet. Shows 2:30. Nice job if you got that. Let's go ahead and do the last one by yourself. Which clock shows 6 o'clock? Yeah, you should have also circled clock A because the hour hand is on the 6, the minute hand is on the 12. That means 6 o'clock. The hour hand and the minute hand for this one is both on the 12. That means 12 o'clock. We need to circle 6 o'clock. Which clock shows 9:30? Tricky, don't get tricked. Remember, when it's between two numbers, it's usually the smaller number because it didn't quite make it to the big number yet. Yeah, you should have circled B. Clock B shows 9:30 because 9:30 is almost halfway between 9 and 10 o'clock. This shows 8:30 because it's between the 8 and the 9, and it's not on 9 yet. It's still on the 8. Circle which clock shows half past 6. Half past 6. If we're showing half past 6, what time are we looking for? Halfway past 6. Which clock shows 6:30? Again, you should have circled B. This clock shows 6:30. It's between the 6 and the 7. The hour hand is between the 6 and the 7, which means it's not 7 yet. It's still 6, and the minute hand is on 30. This one shows what time? 7:30 because it's between 7 and 8. Let's keep going. Match the clocks. All right, so we have an analog clock on this side. We have times in the middle and the digital clock on the other side. So we need to match the clock to the time and then the time to the digital clock. Okay, let's look at this. The hour hand is on the 7. The minute hand is on the 12, which means o'clock. So this time shows, you got it, 7 o'clock. So we draw a line there. Now let's draw a line from 7 o'clock to the digital clock that shows 7 o'clock. Yep, 7 o'clock. Let's do the next clock. B. This is between, the hour hand is between the 5 and the 6, which means it's not 6 yet, it's still 5. And then the minute hand is on the 6, which means 30. So this time shows, you got it, 5:30. What's another way of saying 5:30? Half past 5. So you should have drawn a line here. And then we know 5:30 is the same way of saying 5:30. There we go. Let's do the next one. The hour hand, let's look there first, is between the 1 and the 2, which means it's still, 1 o'clock. And then the minute hand is on the 6, which means 30. That means it's 1:30. Or another way of saying that is 1:30. Between the 7 and the 8, that means it's still 7. And the minute hand is on the 6, which means 30. 7:30. Another way of saying 7:30 is 7:30. And then we write that by saying 7:30. You guys are so smart. It's exit ticket time. Hey, it's exit ticket time. Okay, so it says today you need to match the pictures with the clocks. So these are pictures of things that you guys do every single day. A says, well, some of you might, maybe not soccer practice, but soccer practice is at 3:30. You need to match that time with the correct clock. B, brush your teeth at 7:30. Draw a line to match the clock. Wash dishes at 6 o'clock. Eat dinner at 5:30. Take the bus at 4:30. Do your homework at 6:30. So don't get tricked. I wonder who's going to get all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these times correct. Don't forget, send your pictures to your teachers so we know you did your work. Got it? All right, I can't wait to check in on you guys on Friday to see how you did. All right, good luck. Bye.